What's good, guys? It's Seth at Sentimental.com. So Bitcoin is at a critical level and we must pay attention because there's a chance that Bitcoin could drop to $30,000 or probably even lower. So in this video, let's look at Bitcoin and my short to medium term price targets for Bitcoin. As a reminder, I am only sharing my opinions, so nothing in here should be considered as financial advice. And now let's kick this off by getting the phase of the market cycle that we are in. So looking at Bitcoin's chart with the logarithmic regression curves, we see that Bitcoin is currently trading at the top end of the market cycle. And now it is usually in this zone that Bitcoin sees a lot of irrational selling and it normally comes back down in price. In 2017, we tapped off in this zone. We saw a lot of irrational selling. Then we came back down in price. In 2013, we tapped off in this zone, a lot of irrational selling, and then we came back down in price, right? So until Bitcoin breaks above $60,000 in our current situation, if Bitcoin breaks above $60,000, then things could change. But until Bitcoin breaks above $60,000, I will assume we're in a double top formation, and I will expect Bitcoin to come back down in price. So that is something I'm watching. If Bitcoin breaks above $60,000, I will change my mind. So now we know where we are in the market cycle, but now let's look at the open interest and the long to short ratio on Binance to get the market sentiment. So looking at the chart for the open interest, we see that open interest has been gradually moving up and is very high at the moment when compared to a month ago. So this is about a month ago and this is now. So this is showing that a lot of traders are willing to take bets in the market at the moment, or they are holding bets in the market at the moment. But let's look at the long to short ratio to see the direction of their bets. So going to the long to short ratio chart, we see that there are about 79% longs and 21% shorts. So there are a lot of people bullish in the market at the moment, and they are holding long bets on the market at the moment. But if you ask me, this is just a bad setup for the longs to be taken advantage of, because with a liquidation, you could take advantage of all these longs in the market and cascade the market down, right? So that is something to watch out for, just to give you a good understanding of the market sentiment. So now we know where we are in the market cycle, and we also know the market sentiment. But now let's look at Bitcoin from the lower time frame to the higher time frame. So starting with the 4-hour chart, we see that Bitcoin recently broke below this sideways consolidation channel. So this channel that sits in between $52,000 and about $46,000, Bitcoin has broken below that channel, right? And the price is currently trading at about 41,800. But I'm not able to get a lot of information from this chart alone. So let me go to the daily time frame. So switching to the daily time frame, we see that Bitcoin is currently forming the right shoulder of a head and shoulder pattern, right? So this is the right shoulder of the head and shoulder pattern. That is the left shoulder of the head and shoulder pattern. And that is the head right here, right? And this head and shoulder pattern is usually a bearish pattern, and it normally predicts that price will break below the neckline. So this neckline that says at $40,000, it normally predicts that price will break below the neckline and head lower, right? And the price target to watch if we break lower is the $30,000 price level, right? So that is where I think Bitcoin will get a good amount of support. But if we break lower, then we'll probably end up starting the bear market for Bitcoin. So that is something to watch. But let's look at some indicators. Let's look at the RSI to see whether the head and shoulder pattern is more likely to form, or whether we'll just get a bounce from the neckline. The RSI shows that Bitcoin is losing strength. The RSI is trending downwards, and the RSI is currently at 29. Bitcoin normally gets a bounce when we hit the 29 or 30 on the RSI. So it is possible that Bitcoin could see a bounce and push back upwards, but it is also possible that the RSI could push lower, right? Or Bitcoin could push lower because the RSI is bounded between 0 and 100. So 30 on the RSI doesn't mean anything. The RSI could push even lower. But let's look at the MACD to have another confirmation. So let me switch to the MACD chart. And looking at the MACD, we see that the MACD line, the blue line, is currently below the signal line, right? So this is confirming a reversal for Bitcoin. And it also confirms that Bitcoin is losing strength. And it is possible that we could see further downside for Bitcoin. So keep that in mind, all right? It is possible we see a bounce, but I'm leaning more towards further downside or maybe a consolidation. The squeeze momentum, looking at the squeeze momentum also, we see that we are going through a release. We went through a squeeze over here, and we are going through the release, and then the release is pushing us downwards, right? The momentum is negative, right? So things are looking bad for Bitcoin for real. So be careful out there, guys, all right? But now let's look at the weekly time frame as well. Looking at the weekly, we see that the squeeze momentum is confirming a loss of momentum in the weekly time frame, and I would take it more serious because we are in the weekly time frame. But let's look at the MACD also. Looking at the MACD, the reversal has been confirmed already, right? The MACD is below the signal line, and this is confirming a reversal of momentum. Momentum is reversing to the negative. So there's a high possibility we see further downside or maybe a consolidation. Looking at the RSI is also looking bearish, right? We are in a downtrend. So I'll be careful out there, guys. All right. Bitcoin could push lower. So we must pay attention to the $40,000 price level and the $30,000 price level. If Bitcoin breaks below $40,000, then Bitcoin will be confirming the head and shoulder pattern, and Bitcoin will continue lower towards $30,000. We may get some support around $33,000, but that is something you want to pay attention to. If Bitcoin also breaks below $30,000, then Bitcoin will be starting the bear market. That is my opinion. Bitcoin will be starting the bear market, but that is something you want to pay attention to. But now make sure to help a brother out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. My name is Seth, and I make content that makes you more money. So if making more money with cryptos is something you are interested in, then definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications as well. And let me know which other cryptos you would like for me to cover in the comment section.